Patrick was born in Roman-controlled Britain in about 390 AD. But it wasn't long before barbarians from across the Irish Sea raided British coastal regions, taking many captives.
Patrick was probably 16 years old when his village was attacked. He was taken captive here to the rugged shores of Northern Ireland, and he was sold as a slave shepherd to a local Druid chieftain.
He was forced into bitter isolation, tending flocks as a slave shepherd here on Slemish Mountain.
As Patrick faced his first months of loneliness, hunger, illness, and despair here on Slemish Mountain, he began seeking God.
He later wrote, "I would pray constantly during the daylight hours, and the love of God surrounded me more and more."
After 6 tough years in this area of Northern Ireland, totally relying upon God, Patrick wrote that he had a life-changing dream.
The message: your hungers are rewarded. You are going home. Look, your ship is ready. So Patrick snubbed his fear of punishment, left his flocks, and walked 200 miles to the Irish coast, where indeed he found a ship.
Patrick the fugitive traveled back over the Irish Sea to Britain. There, he joined a monastery and dedicated the next 20 years of his life to pursuing God and the gospel of Jesus Christ.
After becoming a priest, Patrick couldn't deny his heart for the Irish people and his calling to return to them. At this point in history, about 432 AD, Ireland was dominated by full-scale barbarism. Nonetheless, Patrick wrote, "I am ready to be murdered, betrayed, enslaved, whatever come my way." He had to return for the Irish people that he loved. Patrick planted his first church in a barn in Northern Ireland. He went on to spend the next 30 years of his life preaching the gospel all around the treacherous island. In the end, Patrick is credited with baptizing 120,000 people and founding 300 churches in Ireland. St. Patrick's Cathedral here in Dublin is a fitting tribute to his incredible legacy.
With the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, it looked as if paganism might again get the better of Christianity when new adversaries, the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, invaded Britain. Yet against the odds, Christianity survived. Missionary activity continued here in Ireland, and starting with Scotland, an Irish evangelist named Columba brought Patrick's style of Christianity to mainland Britain. 100 years after Patrick, Columba was considered the next great evangelist from Ireland. In 563, he put together a team of 12 missionaries, and he traveled north across these treacherous waters to western Scotland, and he founded a monastery on the Isle of Iona.
Iona Abbey became the focal point for spreading the gospel in Scotland and is considered one of the oldest centers for scriptural study in Western Europe. Iona Abbey is still home to a Christian religious order and remains a popular pilgrimage site. During the decades following Columba, followers of the Columba movement continued planting monasteries throughout Ireland and Scotland. Despite growing pressures, the gospel continued to spread. Over 2,000 years ago, the man known as Jesus of Nazareth was born in the small town of Bethlehem in the land of Judea. His extraordinary life, brutal execution, and miraculous resurrection from the dead attest to the truth of his claim to be the only Son of God. This is the story of how Jesus, through the lives of his faithful followers, has become known around the world, impacting all of human history from the 1st century until today. This is Drive Thru History, Ends of the Earth.